Hear it, and see it when you want it. On demand, audio and video at 630WPRO.com.
Who has handled this lawsuit from the beginning. Next to her, of course, is Jessica Alquist, the plaintiff in the case, and next to her is her father, Mark Alquist. We'll start with having Lynette give a brief summary of the court's decision yesterday and some comments. Then we'll hear from Jessica, and then we'll open it up to questions from everybody. Thank you.
Good morning. Yesterday, Senior District Judge Laguerre issued a 40-page decision and order resolving the case that we brought on behalf of Jessica Alquist last spring. Because of the status, he has ruled both granting a preliminary injunction requiring that the prayer display be removed immediately, and providing for the entry of a final judgment to that effect after some other procedural matters are resolved. In that 40-page opinion, the court found that the display violates the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment, ordered its immediate removal. The judge stated, "No amount of debate can make the school prayer anything other than a prayer," while acknowledging that the prayer espouses values of honesty, kindness, friendship, and sportsmanship. The reliance on God's intervention as the way to achieve those goals is not consistent with the secular purpose.
I need to just say that I'm so glad and proud that the right decision was made and that the Constitution was upheld. I'm thankful for all that the ACLU, Steve Brown, Lynette Lattinger, Thomas Bender, and my supportive friends and family have done for me through all of this. I don't think it would have been possible without them. I am hopeful that this case can be looked back at someday and will be a good example to those who are facing similar situations and who will stand up for their rights and do the same. It's been a very long and difficult year for me and my family, and we're just so glad now that it's finally been decided. Well, it's been about a year and a half now, and unfortunately I've had to deal with a lot of harassment and negative flack from people who disagreed with my views, my opinions on all of this. It's all worth it though. Even though all that happened, now I think it was all worth it.
Worth it? Talk about worth it.
I could have not said anything, but I did what I believed in, and I'm glad that I did.
What kind of reaction are you getting from your classmates at school?
I'm sure a lot of them are very unhappy with the decision that was made, but I think there's also a lot of kids in the school who do agree with me and who can maybe feel somewhat liberated because of the ruling.
Was there ever a time you thought twice about going through with it?
Not really, no. I'm pretty sure from the very beginning, when Steve first asked me if I wanted to sign on to the lawsuit, I knew I wanted to, because I felt strongly about this.
And how did it make you feel seeing that prayer, seeing the banner each day?
It's not something that belongs in school. When I saw it there, I knew it didn't belong. And every time that I saw it, it was a reminder that my school wasn't doing the right thing, and that my school didn't necessarily support me in my views. So
What are your
offensive.
views?
My views religiously, I don't have any. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any sort of God or supernatural powers. My political views and the views of this country are that church and state should remain separate.
To hear some of the people in Cranston tell it, city officials, they're going to appeal, doesn't seem to be over.
That might happen. If it does, then the fight will continue.
Has this impacted your career path in any way? Some people, when they're exposed to the law, decide to go into the law.
I don't know yet if law is for me as a career. I haven't given too much thought as to what I want to do after high school, but I'm sure I'll be doing something where I can tie all this together.
How did you feel when you first heard about this ruling?
I was thrilled, and to some degree I was relieved. I wasn't surprised, because in my own mind I knew that what we were doing was right, and I was sure that the judge would understand that. There was some doubt, I guess, like there always is, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that he decided to make this decision.
What were you doing when you heard about it?
I was sitting in the car.
The timing is interesting here. Last night I was at a talk at Brown by John Barry, the guy who just wrote Roger Williams and the Creation of the American Soul. And I'm wondering if you think this goes to the American soul, and if you want to get heady on us here.
Well, I don't necessarily believe in his soul, but if you want to talk about the soul of this country, I think this is exactly what should be happening in America. I think this is what true American values are.
Meaning what?
This country was founded to be a secular country. We're supposed to keep church and state separate so that people can have their rights and their freedom to choose. And I think that this lawsuit is a reflection of that.
Mr. Alquist, what do you think of what your daughter has accomplished?
Would you mind moving your microphones over before you answer that
Just
question?
lean over,
Or
just,
you move toward
yeah,
the
just
microphone.
lean over a little, that's all. Yeah. What do you think, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'm proud of her.
Is that all you have to say?
Jessica, what do you hope some of your other classmates will take from this?
Well, I hope that they realize that this was the fairest way that the decision could be made. I hope that they understand that even if they do have religious views that are different than mine, they can go on having that, and we can even be friends. The point is that it doesn't belong in a school.
Well, speaking of that, what has been the backlash for you? Have you lost friends? Have you gained friends?
Both. A lot of the people I've met because of this have become really close friends, and the friends who I've lost, I guess, weren't really my friends anyway, if they weren't willing to stand behind me in that.